Pac is back. Ghost chomping at his feet. Pac's our hero. Pac just can't be beat. Yeah.
Pac-Man yellow, Pac extreme. He's a chowing down machine. Yup, monster goons, and only one can stop him. Pac-Man rules.
The Pac is back. Ghost chomping at his feet. Pac's our hero. And Pac just can't be beat. The Pac is back.
Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. And as they made what into a TV series, we continue our walkthrough, whatever you want to call it, of Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Still early on, we're in season 1 and we're up to episode 3, which is actually part 1 of another 2-parter. So episode 3 and 4 are connected, although, you know, really, you can see why, because it's basically one episode completely.
Yeah.
Which I actually don't mind. The fact that, weirdly, we started off like that, and we've got it again, and throughout the series, if you look ahead, it happens several times throughout.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased that they clearly felt capable enough of writing stories that couldn't fit in their 22-minute slot.
Yeah, I also like the fact that it continues. It's not a separate story. It seems to be like it's going to be one whole story.
Right, yeah, I agree with you. There's going to be that vein running through it, but I do think we already see the signs of Donkey Kong Country here, which is why we'll have this vein running through it. It'll be offshoot adventures around that. I have no problem with that. As long as it's not Viva Pinata. It's not just random things constantly with no overarching story. We're going to have an overarching one, Crystal Coconut, whereas this it's about Lord Betrayus and elements like that. I'm okay with that now. Come back to us in about 30 episodes' time when we're both crying because we're sick to death of Pac-Man. But we're not there yet. This is episode 3, No Pets Allowed, Especially Monsters, Part 1. Written by Sean Catherine Derrick. We begin with Pac, Spiral and Silly in a car with President Spiros being taken to a secret lab to meet a scientist. That one that is responsible for the weapons they've been using. Spiral is calling these weapons PSCs, plasma sucking cannons. I appreciate early on they're giving us all these pithier names for things. So we got PSCs. It's Spiralotron and Cylindria. And then we just cut the names down to Spiral and Silly. Very happy with that. President Spiros claims that he brought the scientist out of retirement to build more weapons because war now. Pac now realizes that this scientist must be Circumference. Circumference. Do you get it?
I did laugh.
Did you?
Yeah.
I groaned, man. He's a brilliant scientist who built the inventions used to win Pac World War I against Betrayus. I was like, wow, they're calling it World War I. Pac World War I. All right. The conversation is interrupted, though, by a ghost attack. And then we cut to what I think is, and I've said it before, and I'm going to probably say it all the way through the show, one of the worst intros I've ever heard. It's the song, Pac is back. I'm going to be mean. The dude can't sing. That's the biggest problem. And that last bit, Pac is, it's just so cheesy. Like, it would be better not to have lyrics and just have the music.
I've already learned how to skip it now, so I've got the time.
Oh, like, like the little fast thing like that. But I think the intro absolutely sucks. Anyway, their car is assaulted by ghosts who take over the bodies of some defenders, and they almost crash, but Pac is able to stop it. Pac starts dishing out berries before going on the attack. President Spiros wonders why Spiral and Silly aren't that excited about taking the berries, and they reveal that they don't like the fact that they never know what power they will get, and that the powers aren't always useful or good, which is what Pac now experiences as he turns into a bouncing ball. I think this is a good explanation as to why they're not going to use it, because you'd be like, at a show, think about it, why aren't they using berries as well? But the fact that they're like, nah man, this isn't always good, and like, I think that creates us an easy out for them not using berries going forward. However, they are able to scare off the ghosts and continue to the lab. It's deep underground, and en route, an explosion occurs and smoke obscures their vision. Pac sucks it up, though, revealing a lab and the character of Circumference, who's voiced by Ian James Corlett. He's a bit odd, a bit wacky. They've kind of given him the Einstein look. And introduces his robot companion, Grinder, before getting into a fight with him, but accidentally spraying President Spiros with oil. I get the impression Circumference is going to be two things in this show. The MacGuffin, so when they need something, he'll have it. And the comedy element. The silly, look how silly that is. President Spirus is concerned about the explosion, but Circumference reveals he was just making some hot chili. Okay. Silly introduces them, but Circumference reveals that he knows Pac and that he knew his parents. Circumference then reveals that he has new weapons and tries to show off a new PSC, but loses control of it and almost sucks at the president. But Pac saves the day by switching it off. Meanwhile, in the Netherworld, Brrraains has his own scientists. So we're getting more and more characters introduced now. If you look on Wikipedia, the character list is extensive as hell.
It's a massive, massive cast.
Yeah, so it is one of those where it's like, oh, we're going to get quite a bit in this. Anyway, obviously, Brrraains' scientist is a mad scientist. Dr. Buttocks. Yes, Dr. Buttocks. Voiced by Brian Drummond, who also happens to be the twin brother of Butler, who is Brrraains' butler. But it's Butler.
No,
it's not. This is not highbrow thinking. Put it that way.
It's for kids to think. I think quite funny. Yeah.
Dr. Buttocks. Ha ha ha. Butler is also voiced by Brian Drummond, and Butler and Dr. Buttocks do not get along, much to Brrraains' annoyance. Brrraains wants a way to deal with Pac, and Dr. Buttocks reveals a monster that he has created. Brrraains is unimpressed as he already has seen Pac deal with monsters, so I did like that.
Yeah.
Like the fact it's like, yeah, okay, it's not just going to be... It's not Power Rangers, where it's like, they've beaten every monster we've ever sent before, send another one.
Yeah.
Do you know, like that kind of thing. But Dr. Buttocks reveals a new invention, a way to instantly multiply any monster. Blinky, Pinky, Inky and Clyde see this and are concerned for Pac, so head off to warn him. This while Brrraains uses the multiplier on himself, creating a second version of himself. The ghosts arrive at Pac's, but can't knock on the window to wake him up, but remember the ghosts will fly through it. That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
That's funny. Where they're like, oh, we can't hit it. And it's like, oh yeah, we can just fly through it. Pinky is still harbouring feelings for Pac. Good to see this might be a thing that runs through the show.
Definitely.
But is set to go and wake up Silly in the girls' dorm. The other ghosts wake up Pac and Spiral and reveal the monster plot, pointing out that Pac can't eat monsters and that PSCs won't work on them either. So again, we're setting that up as to why monsters might be able to create a bit more chaos.
Makes sense because it'd be pretty boring if it's just the same. Pac takes a berry, he eats the monsters over and over again. So.
Yeah, we've got to have some variations on it. Pac suggests they go see Circumference for a weapon that can help as Silly and Pinky arrive. And Pinky is unimpressed by Silly dishing out orders, though. I think that could be, again, another fun thing, that Silly and Pinky don't get along. Pac contacts Circumference and asks for his help, but Circumference agrees, and Circumference agrees to try and make something. In the meantime, several monsters are sent to Pacopolis, as we see that Brrraains is annoying himself. Like, his two versions are... Basically, having two of him is quite annoying. One monster, a small and cute one, is sent back as Brrraains is unimpressed by it, but we see it hitching a ride on one of the big ones. That's important.
Yep.
The armor monsters are confronted by Pac, Spiral and Silly, who attack while Dr. Buttocks gloats. Overhearing his boast, though, Pac chases him down and eats him. I thought that was quite good. Yep. I was like, oh, there we go, he's done. Because, I mean, no one really dies in this, because they just go back to that regeneration chamber. Yeah. They still have to deal with the monsters, though, and everyone takes berries and start to deal with the monsters. Circumference arrives, and scanning one, he realises that monsters are clones, and that they have a short amount of energy before disappearing. Well, isn't that lucky?
Yep.
Still no weapons, but Pac is winning anyway, which is annoying the hell out of Brrraains, who just keeps on fighting with his clone. Pac finishes off the monsters, but ends up face to face with a small cute one, which transforms into something a bit nastier. I really like the animation on the transformation. Pac's berries have run out, but he ends up being saved by the monster, and the group reunite. They're all taken in by this little monster, which is called Fuzzbit, and voiced by Lee Tucker. And it's revealed that he has a good heart and has been trying to escape in the Netherworld. So this is our title and where we're getting to.
Yeah.
Feeling sorry for it, Pac wants to keep it in their dorm, but there are no pets allowed. They're going to have to hide it, but that's not their biggest problem, as Dr. Buttocks and Brrraains are hatching a new plan to deal with Pac. And that's how we end part one of this two-parter. Nothing. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's in the middle, So,
there's nothing wrong with it. It looks good. We're still so early in it. I don't know if it's right. Like, we've got anything that we can really criticise this early on. Yeah. Because right now we've not reached repetitive stages.
I think about 10 episodes in, it was still the same thing.
It will be. It will be. Well, I think that'll be a problem as we go forward. Yeah. Particularly, the biggest problem it's facing, right, and it's of this episode is that the actual fights aren't very interesting. Yeah. There doesn't really feel as much threat to anything and all that. Dr. Buttocks, why, if you could multiply anything, why did you make it like 6? why do you just keep going and going and going and going and
Hundreds.
going? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, particularly if they've got a short lifespan. We'll delve into that a little more into the next second part, I think, where I have a bigger criticism of the plan. But for now, this is fine. It's Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, episode number 3, No Pets Allowed, Especially Monsters, part 1. You got any thoughts and you know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.